Hello, Paul is the best for UK here, and welcome to another video. So I recently got this IBM Model 55SX. I used to have one of these actually. It went to e-waste unfortunately, but I got myself another one, and unfortunately, if I just bring this up, the ESDI hard drive is completely toast. It's no good. It does power us up, it does spin, the actuator arm does move, but it's absolutely riddled with bad sectors. So I thought to myself, let's go and find an ESDI hard drive, and they're still really expensive. I found one for about 130 quid for a 60 megabyte drive. There's solutions now to get MCF card readers for the MCA bus, which I'm going to purchase some point in the future. That's 65 quid from America. But yeah, as you can see, I've done the Dallas RTC modification with the battery holder and stuff, but that's not the reason for this video. So obviously without a hard drive you can't run things like Windows 3.1, so I decided to take on the task of trying a slim line Windows 3.1 to floppy disks. So I've got, this is a GoTech which works fine in this. You have to, obviously you need power to it, so I've just modified the power supply a little bit. But this GoTech has got two, well, it's got 20 disk images, but 19 and 20 are my thing that I've done. So monitors up here, sorry about the mess. So what I'm going to show you is Windows 3.1 stripped down and running from just 2 floppy disks. I was inspired by the Mini 3.1 project that China, whatever it was, did in the early 2000s, but this is a bit different. It runs off 2, and it sort of like caches it into a RAM disk first. So let's have a look what I've done. So if I turn it on, make sure I'm on slot 20 on the GoTech. There we go, 20. Right, should have our memory. Sorry about the glare. Should have our memory test. There is an error code, but that's just because I've removed the hard drive, don't worry about that. And I've disconnected the speaker because it's got a broken bracket. That just means the hard drive isn't present or system configuration has changed. But yeah, look, watch this. So that's now loading from the virtual floppy. So this is what I've done. I've made a 2 megabyte RAM disk. So it now says please insert this 2. Now this 2 on my GoTech, of course once you write this to a real floppy it will work as well. It's on disk number 19 on the GoTech. Now what will happen now is this will copy some of these executable files to the RAM disk now, which is virtual disk C. So we've got Paintbrush, we've got Program Manager itself, we've got Solitaire, we've got Write, we've got some of the DLL files and stuff. We've got WinFile, so that's File Manager. So this is actually copying the important files to this temporary C drive. Now it say please return disk 1 now. So if we go back to this slot number 20 on my GoTech, of course like I said you can write these images to a real floppy. This is really useful for the hard to obtain hard drive, so the IBM PS2 range. So if we press any key now, what will happen is it will start to load Windows 3.1. You can see it chugging away there. I'm using Flash Floppy as the firmware for the GoTech. Takes a little bit longer than a hard drive of course, but it's not that long. This is all in real time, I haven't edited this video at all. Yeah, I really wish the system had ISA. It would make life so much easier. I'm probably going to get the modern solution with MCA to CF card, to be honest. No point messing about with the SD or hard drives, they just fail. They're all failing all over the place. 130 quid for a working ESDI drive, and it might fail 2 days later. I don't think I can do that. But yeah, there you go. So there's Windows 3.1 working. So it's there. Look, solitaire, right? Paintbrush, Minesweeper, sorry, File Manager. Now, so far I haven't managed to get Control Panel to work. That's a work in progress. If we go into Control Panel, I haven't got a mouse connected either, but the mouse does work. It does this, which I did make a system directory with the CPL extensions, but it still doesn't like it for some reason. And also MS-DOS prompt doesn't work. Another work in progress. It says that, it's on the drive, but still it doesn't like it. And then it says unexpected DOS error 23. But as you can see, look at that, solitaire. Working fine. We've got right. Yep, there you go. We've got. It is a bit slower than a hard drive, of course. We are dealing with floppy drives, access times here. Paintbrush. Now these applications are actually in RAM memory. That's why you need the 4 megabytes of RAM. But yeah, as you can see, do not, if you do decide to use my images, which I will release, do not save anything to the C drive, because it will disappear on the next reboot, because it's a RAM disk only. Try and save it onto an AD disk, floppy disk. So Paintbrush works, Minesweeper works just fine. File Manager. Now this is where I can show you the structure of the disks actually. As you can see, we've got the C drive, which is 2 megabytes in total, and it's got 932k. Now I might add more applications to this because there's 932k, but do not save anything to this disk, because it's just a RAM disk. There's no, as you can see, there's no hard drive in the machine, so this is just a RAM disk. It will lose everything in it on the next reboot. The reason why all this is here is because when it's booting, like I just showed you, from the disks, it copies it every time, if that makes sense. So we've also got Notepad, which again works just fine. There we go. Now there's no help files included in this, so if you try and use content, search for help or anything, they won't work, but of course about should work. There we go. So what do you think of that? Do you think that's something will be useful for these older ESDI based systems? It's only a temporary thing, so I can actually make use of this system. I am going to buy one of them MCA to CF adapters that you can now get, but the trouble is it's from just one company and it's in the States and I'm in the UK, so I'd have to order it from abroad, and I don't know what the taxes are like and everything these days. But yeah, that's my video for today. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'd like to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.